Shalom, 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 shalom. Kwam. Salaki Kol Elohim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakadosh Baruch. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone who do teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Now more so never. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwad out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, with whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh coming at you with another lesson through the spirit, through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's crazy. Esau really fucked up out here. Like, it's an Edomite, who appears to be an Edomite. He begging for change, but he eating on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, this fucking devil literally made a job out of begging. Salakia though. I mean, even Jake wouldn't do nothing that, like, nigga, like, but that's funny. I've never seen Jake do nothing like that, but I just seen Edomite do it. Anyhow, Salakia, you know, just thinking out loud, but this lesson is a continuation, because I was doing a video yesterday, and, you know, the time had escaped me, so I wasn't able to finish the video. The video is in regards to an article. Bear with me for a second. An article about this teen that pretty much murdered his whole family, you know. And I looked it up. Yes, he was an Edomite. I think I stopped at the paragraph that said he had no criminal history. And I was basically saying, yeah, I'm not surprised, because, you know, there'd be spirits created for vengeance. So just because a person wasn't, you know, had no history of violence, you got, you know, these angels working on, or the Elohim working on the minds of men, you know. It tells you that in the book of Daniels. And pretty much, you know, you got the Lord with, you know, right-hand angels and the left-hand angels, and the left-hand angels, you know, pretty much have people do wickedness, while you got the left-hand angels that pretty much helping the brothers do the righteousness, you know, because it's not us, you know, that's really doing these things, but it's the spirit that's on us, you know. So, back in the article, it says Molly Kempira and Amy Parker, the attorneys representing the suspect, did not immediately respond to requests for comment on the charges filed Thursday. It says after the juvenile court hearing, they released a statement reiterating that their client has no criminal history. They described him as a teen who enjoys mountain biking and fishing and murdering, because he pretty much killed, like, his entire family. The only reason why, it was, I think, he killed 5 of them. So he killed his mother, father, and his 3 siblings. And I believe it was a 4th sibling that pretty much didn't die. You know, so she played dead. And after he left the room, she went to her neighbors and had them call police. So with that code, and then he also, you know, showing you how these devils is devils, he also was going to try and make it appear like his brother killed his parents and then killed himself. So, you know, and that's the nature of these Edomites. You know, I was speaking on the fact, because this is like the 3rd time I've tried to do this continuation of this video. I went to school at this, I went to school for HVAC, heating and ventilation. You know, heating, ventilation, and cooling, and pretty much the area or the school I went to was predominantly Edomites. And I remember at the time, you know, my dad was still alive, and I was staying with my dad, you know, and we, like, I pretty much, you know, he was helping me, but I would try to help him because he was up in age. And, you know, his whole thing was, I guess he wanted to see me, you know, do better, you know. So, long story short, though, I was telling the instructor, you know, like, I stayed with my dad, you know, he up in age, you know, they was trying to say that he was coming down with dementia, you know, and Alzheimer's pretty much ran in my family, or runs in my family rather. So long story short, the instructor like, well, when I get older, I hope my sons, or I would love for family member to look out for me. And, you know, the Edomites, you know, the young Edomite students, they up there like, well, shit, you know what I mean? And it just made me think about, like, pretty much like they waiting for, you know, their parents to die so they can get their inheritance. You know what I mean? You know, like, you know, made me think of the account of the prodigal son, you know, that wanted his inheritance before he was supposed to get it, and he went and basically blew it, you know. But the difference is, Esau, you not going to be welcomed back in the Lord's arms. You know, that pretty much represents the elect. You know, that had nothing to do with Esau, Edom. You know, scriptures talk about pretty much that Esau's a bastard. You know, you have no father. You know, says, the law says our client is presumed innocent of these charges, and we are grateful for a judicial process that requires proof and evidence before there is a judgment, the statement said. But the thing is this, they got a eyewitness, which is the sister. So, you know what I mean, again, this, you know, with the whole stupid ass legal system period, anyway, you know what I mean, you know, people that deserve to be punished go unpunished, and the people that's innocent, you know, showing you how the system is flawed. You know, one day, you know, I don't even think I was in the truth at the time. One day I was looking at the, you know, that symbol that's in front of the courtroom of, you know, you got a lady with a pair of balances that's pretty much, you know, uneven, you know, and she's got a blindfold on. So what did that tell about the legal system? You know, it's unfair and, you know, it's blind. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you got people that actually didn't commit crimes that go and do decades in prison, and then they get released pretty much with maybe some money, but that money doesn't get back time, you know? You done released and you done, like, what's that dude, Hurricane Carter? You know, basically went to jail for some shit he didn't do. And you know, the thing is, they say that he turned down the money. You know, that's integrity like a motherfucker, but you know, he got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You gonna give me something? Like I said. But anyhow, it says teen shots parents, siblings, and tried to frame brother records say. Teen shot, it says the first call to report the shooting was from the suspect himself, according to arrest affidavit. Just before 5 a.m., the teenager allegedly called 911, told the dispatcher the 13-year-old brother just shot my whole family and committed suicide. Investigators said, based on the evidence, the suspect shot his parents and siblings and then tampered with the scene in order to pin the blame on his brother. It appears that Andrew Humpston systematically murdered his mother, father, 2 brothers and sister, and attempted to murder his other sister. Right. But the one other sister, like I said, pretty much lived. And like I said, so he going down. But you got to take time to think about that, like how cold-blooded the devil is, you know. They can just, like, how you could just murder your mother that gave you birth. You know, like, say, I know no matter what the fuck he did, you know, or they did, or whatever upset you, this man is the fucking devil. And from what I was reading, it was saying, like, pretty much, because they asked the sister, was there any issues, was he upset about something, what was going on in the family? And I guess because his dad was like a prominent engineer and his mother was a nurse, I guess he was doing bad on the test or some shit like that, and then he snapped, you know what I mean? You know, scripture say in the book of Matthew, the love of many, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You go into that word cold, it's psycho, or psycho. You know, that nigga lost his brains and murdered his whole family. So, the book of Matthew, chapter 24. And man, I hate that. In verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So, you know, scriptures talk about, you know, in the last days, perilous times coming, you know, and, you know, as far as, you know, violence and crime increasing on the earth, just like in the days of Noah, you know, it's going to increase in these last days now, you know. The book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And that's going into that time of Jacob's trouble. So all these things that's taking place on the planet is preparing the earth for the time of Jacob's trouble. That's why you got, violence at an all-time high. I don't even think they reporting on all the violence. Like best believe they not. But if you don't think the crime has increased, then you really are, stupid. Oh my God. This shit is crazy. Salakia. I'm going to end it with Ezekiel. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, starting at verse 5, and it reads, I'm going to start at verse 4. I'm going to start at verse 3. Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 3. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense or reward or repay upon thee all thine abominations. Look at all the abominable things that happen in this place known as Babylon the Great, aka America. Verse 4, and my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity. Ezekiel chapter 9 talks about spare not, but smite everybody that does not have the mark. It says smite old and young, I think maid and children, if I'm not mistaken. It says, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Verse 5, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, power and evil and only evil, behold, is come. Verse 6, the end is come. The end is come. If watching for thee, behold, it is come. And we're watching the end of this place. So prepare to see more judgments, more violence, more, pestilence. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, after this, this November 5th election, And either way it goes, something going to happen. You had situations with the whole left and pretty much, they pretty much the Donald Trump assassinations. They went so far as to say that Biden had a part of that. But something to make me think about? Remember when Trump had first got into office? They pretty much had a play, and I think on Broadway or something. They had a play where pretty much it was about Julius Caesar, but pretty much Julius Caesar looked like Trump. And now, you get all these assassination attempts, which pretty much just fueling his credibility as, oh yeah, he's the one that the citizens need and want. It is such a heavy spell. I was talking to a nigga yesterday. I tried to camp, right? And, it was spiritual because it only gave me my first minute of, basically opening up. It doesn't record anything else. And you know how sometimes you'll be trying to stream and, it'll disconnect, but you can reconnect it. I did it like the whole camp, but nothing is on there except for me opening up. And, it was spiritual because this Jake was walking past and he's like, pretty much he's thinking about this, thinking about that. He was drinking. He said he was high, but he was he heard me say the name, and that's what made him stop. So I gave him, my information, and gave him the elders' information, because I don't think I'm an eloquent speaker, I know I'm not, his brothers that's way better orators, that speak a lot better. But I was talking to Jake, and he up there like pretty much voting for Trump. I'm like, nigga. Like. So anyhow, I'm gonna end it with this: Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 25, and it reads, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." So all you about to see is more calamities, more tribulation, more death and destruction, more violence. More pestilence. Probably more whirlwinds, because like I said, we still in hurricane season, And and like I always quote, when Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 9, when because it reads, when thy judgments are in the earth, then the people shall seek righteousness. That's when they're going to want to seek the Lord. So with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the great millstone. Great millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, maybe we'll come with another lesson. I say shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah and Wath Lababal. Shalom.